Okay, so we got a new feature focus here on the dinosaur marketplace. I watched this, I recorded a video, the audio went to shit because the laptop I'm on is just the fucking worst, and it lagged out and corrupted like the audio. So we're gonna just do this again. We're just gonna go through the core things here. Now I know what stands out to me, and we can cover it quickly. We'll watch, and then I'll pause and talk about the things I've noticed. Okay, right off the bat, this building looks very interesting to me. I speculate on what this could be. Probably just like a custom entrance or something, I would guess. Probably shouldn't read too much into any building looking unique in this game, given that there's custom buildings. So I dwelled way too much on this building looking kind of suspicious and weird. Look, listen, glass panels on the top to me feels like a boat tour, and I'm like huffing a lot of copium right now. I need my boats.
Welcome back, park managers. Today, we'll be jumping straight into a park that's been running for a while.
This is not the TRex Skeleton we have in 2, I think, right? Because it has like a leg raise. This is like a new neutral posed TRex Skeleton. Pretty cool to see. I hope there's a lot of skeletons. Those will be fun for decorating.
Looking around, it needs our attention. This park simply isn't making enough money. So, we're going to need to bring in something big to up that appeal. And a quick, easy way to get more dinosaurs into your park is the marketplace. You won't have access to this at the start of your career, but the more parks you manage and clients you impress, you'll soon be able to access the marketplace to purchase dinosaurs.
Yeah, so he just kind of slaps that down there with no consideration for like the path. Like the path does not have a hitbox that prevents the building from being placed. So you can place it on top of the path. Not even straight, but like with the edge is just kind of slapped down here, partially rotated. Very hideous, but very cool to see that the building just kind of works. Sure hope my audio is not going bad again, because the laptop is humming.
Now, let's see what species are available. First, we'll want an impressive flying reptile, and
this is where there's a lot of
Quetzalcoatlus
stuff.
is certainly impressive. They're a bit expensive, but look.
So here, right away, we get that Morphodon confirmed. Boom. So obviously this animal is going to be in the game. It's film canon. This is not a shocking revelation, but it's nice to see it here. 35,000 appeal. How? Sorry, what? Oh, because this is 6 Quetzalcoatlus? That's crazy. That's like a park's worth of appeal. Somebody run these numbers. Is that because some of them are like juveniles? Yeah, 4 adults, 2 juveniles. The juveniles are supposed to be worth more, but I'm not sure if that was once they're adults or in general. That's kind of wild. 35,000.
Look at that park appeal. Another number you should probably pay attention to is the seller's rating. Dark
Jurassic Anon. This is a direct reference to Netflix's Chaos Theory show, the sequel to Camp Cretaceous. The first time Chaos Theory has been referenced in JWE at all, ever. So a clickbaity YouTuber could take this as, look, it's confirmation that Chaos Theory content is in the game. I'm going to take a conservative approach and say that all this says to me is that, this is just an Easter egg. They use this seller name as an Easter egg to reference Chaos Theory and Dark Jurassic from there. But this is still a good thing because it at least means they're not overtly ignoring Chaos Theory, right? This is like a confirmation we will get Chaos Theory content, essentially, because it would be really shitty to put in a Chaos Theory Easter egg and then not actually put in content for it ever at any point, right? I'm sure this is essentially to me a soft confirmation that Chaos Theory content is already being planned.
Jurassic Anon. Doesn't sound too good to me, but they're rated over 50%, and this park is in dire need of some big attractions. It's a risk, but that is park management. And it's paid off. This is sure to head up our cash flow.
Nothing to really see here with the cats is. I mean, it's pretty standard, right? Little cats, big cats, We've seen this kind of stuff before.
Now, let's find something for our lagoon.
Now, this one's kind of funny.
The Mosasaurus. Another.
So there's just 6 Mosasaurs in the freaking market. For almost 50K appeal, which is crazy. Again, like, we're only seeing Mosasaurus here. We've got no hard confirmation of any other aquatics. There's some statues, but like, we've never actually seen any animal in the game that is a lagoon animal other than Mosasaurus. It's almost feeling like lagoons have been sidelined in this game. And they're kind of being like halfway ignored, which is why they're not being emphasized by showing a bunch of other lagoon species. That's at least how it's starting to feel. It is getting to the point where it is weird that all we've seen is Mosasaurus. I'm starting to, I would entertain the notion now at this point that this game may launch with like 4 lagoon animals or something. Like, when I did my speculation video on what I thought the launch roster would be like, I put in a big emphasis on balancing the aviary species with the lagoon species. I'm starting to feel like that was a mistake because we have not seen anything, and we keep getting pterosaurs confirmed. We're on at least 5 now, right? Or is it 6? Because it was the 4 we saw here, and then Tropognathus, right? I don't think we had any of the other ones confirmed, but still 5-1 is a pretty telling ratio.
Of a crowd pleaser, and this time it's coming from a reputable source. Let's get them into our park.
Not much else to say about the Mosasaurs.
Something for our land enclosure.
Okay,
we've
so
spent a lot of our.
This straight up reveals to us Troodon, not necessarily an expected inclusion, but not the most left field animal to make it, and Diplodocus, which was to me essentially already confirmed, soft confirmed. This was soft confirmed to me because we know now from a recent article that I will probably do a video on this weekend. Hopefully, if everything works out, we know from that article that the 7 animals that don't breed in the game are all the hybrids, or are all hybrids, which means they probably are all the hybrids from 2 because there are 7 and 2. Now, it is technically possible that there could be a new hybrid in 3 and they cut one of the hybrids from 2 or even 2 hybrids or whatever, but I think it's rather unlikely. See, the thing is, the reason animals are getting cut from the roster is because it takes work to make the males and the babies. And if they aren't making males and they aren't making babies for hybrids, the hybrids get ported 1-to-1 from 2 to 3. They are free content. This is an argument that was made after I did my speculatory video on what I thought the roster might be. And I changed my mind on this, but way back then even. That yeah, I think the 7 hybrids have to be in the game because there's no reason for them not to be, and therefore the 7 animals that didn't breed were the hybrids, and that has actually been confirmed by that aforementioned article. So to me, that already confirmed Dippy was in alongside who's the other animal that gets confirmed by that? Nobody? I guess nobody. I feel like maybe it only confirms Diplodocus. Never mind. I'm wrecking my brain, but Sinoceratops. Yeah, Diplodocus and Sinoceratops are soft confirmed by that. Plus, that the fact that the hybrids are in confirms Camp Cretaceous content is in. So that's another little piece of information that changes my speculation of what makes it into the game.
Budget. So let's go for something a little smaller.
Another comment I had. Did we ever get this trade information on the dinosaur marketplace? I think we did, right? I think we had this in 2. I think it was the wild captures that had no genes. I think that's correct.
Gallimimus is cheap, probably because of the seller's rating, but we do have the perfect enclosure for them.
Okay, I think that screen was the one with secret information. Let's go back. Also, it's very funny, the idea that you would try to buy a Gallimimus on the black market and accidentally get sent a T-Rex. All right, well, this is being a complete pain in the ass trying to get this recorded. So corrupted audio again. Hopefully I can stitch together these videos. So we died somewhere when the T-Rex was coming in. Yeah, I think the last thing I said before the audio got fucked was that it's very funny to me when you order a Gallimimus and get a T-Rex. Who would do that? That's a giant waste of money. Okay, so this screen here, yes, this one has information on it. Moros intrepidus. There's also... Oh, man, you'd have to, like, color correct this, I think, to see this. Why don't I go find my phone and maybe we can get some information here from Reddit. Okay, so the Reddit tally here for the little barely legible text in the background behind this purchase and delivered to site notification says Archaeornithomimus, Apatosaurus, and Pseudoceratops moros, Microceratus, Lystrosaurus, Giganotosaurus, and Chunkingosaurus. Crazy confirmations. That's wild. Archaeornithomimus is an insane one. That's actually nuts. I almost don't believe this. I almost wonder, a part of me thinks, alpha dev build could still have unfinished animals in it, i.e. things that were in JWE2 that made it in. But that's crazy. So I think all we can assume from this, if we believe these animals are genuinely in and not placeholders, like animals that don't actually have juveniles and females, but are still in the code and still utilized in this alpha build. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I think the safest assumption here is we have to assume these animals are in. That's the most likely case. But I think there's a possibility these are leftover animals in like the dev build that just don't have. I can't believe Archaeornithomimus made it. I'm like coming up with excuses to not believe this, but it's in the video. We got to treat this as canon. Like, we got to treat this as information that's real. Because we can't assume that these are like leftover animals that maybe are cut at this point. We should assume they're in. But that's crazy.
That is not a Gallimimus. We wanted big attractions, but this enclosure was not built for a dinosaur that big. This is the risk you run when purchasing through the marketplace and trusting those less than reliable sellers. Right, we need to get this situation in hand. To get them out of our park, we'll need a response facility. Let's send our capture team over. They'll tranquilize the T-Rex so we can safely rewild them.
So yeah, rewild. This is weird. So instead of just selling the dinosaur for money, now we have this rewild thing, right? So we've got a option now to release the dinosaur into its natural habitat, which costs a bunch of money to do. And so instead of making money getting rid of the animal, you have to pay a bunch of money to get rid of it. I wonder if this is standard or not, because this is a pretty substantial change to the game mechanics. Like if you mess up and make it too many animals, or make the wrong animal, you have to pay a bunch of money to fix that problem. That's crazy. It might encourage better forethought and planning, which is maybe not the worst thing. But like kind of nuts. Not gonna lie. Also very funny in the context of Jurassic World Rebirth, because you're going to send these guys back to the wild, but they're going to promptly die. Unless maybe we're sending them to Ile Saint Hubair to send them to the Rebirth
hiccup, I think we've managed to successfully turn this park around, and it now has 2 new headliners. It's not long now until you'll be taking on your own parks on October 21st.
Yeah, this little bit here I also commented on. This is a really nice look at the top side of the Patagotitan, which is something we haven't really seen. Like seeing this like row of spikes follows, as this nice seam that goes here, and then it's flanked by 2 rows of like osteoderms that align with like the stripes on the back. That's a pretty cool look to this guy. This guy's really grown on me. Like, I didn't dislike the Patago Titan, but every other new animal seemed like way better. But this is like definitely the best sauropod in the game probably now. I'm very fond of the Dominion Dreadnoughtus, but this pattern looks really nice.
First. Good luck, park managers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if there's much to like glean from some of these like, you know, shots of like the environments in these parks. The last video had what some people interpreted to be a bridge for the paths, but that's kind of fallen out of favor. It might have actually just been a path with water pushed very close to it to simulate a bridge, which is not what we want to see because we definitely want real bridges. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the you know the fine combing through the buildings to other people who pay more attention to the building part of their parks. I'm here for the environments and the dinosaurs, not so much the structures. So there's other people who are better, more likely to recognize any interesting little hints in the buildings as to how that may, you know, as to what new things may be in the game. It's not my thing. Anyway, yeah, I've been rambling a bit. This is the third time I've technically recorded this video because the second one crashed too, but I'm going to try and save it. So I'm very frustrated, but yeah. Well, this seemed like an interesting little video. You know, it was we had a previous feature focus that was like a minute long, and that one was really short. So it seems like maybe they took that to heart, gave us a longer one this time. This one clocking at 3.5 minutes is pretty nice. A lot to chew on here, even though like the marketplace facility is not like a revolutionary reveal. Like we knew this was in, and it functions the same way it did in 2. There's like nothing new, nothing terribly new mechanically here. There's still lots of little hints and a surprisingly large amount of confirmed animals because of the background of that one shot with the T-Rex. Actually, I'm kind of curious. If we go back to where they do like the cats confirmation, or is that shot not in here for like the cats?
Reptile, and the size of the Quetzalcoatlus is certainly impressive. They're a bit expensive, but look at that park appeal. Another number you should probably pay attention to is the seller's rating. Dark Jurassic.
Like the shot with the Rex or the galleys that turned out to be a Rex was like a splice, right? There was like 2 different instances of the dinosaur marketplace, the one that they used to actually like show it and the one they were actually in when they, you know, bought the galleys. Those were different.
Anon.
It may
doesn't
not
sound too
be,
good to me, but they're rated over 50%, and this
may not be the case for the other 2.
It's a risk, park management.
Yeah, it looked to me like that was a true transition. You had the Morphodon at the top, followed by Pteranodon. I think, yeah, Dark Jurassic Anon, you can even see in the corner up here. So I think the Rex, the galley situation is like a splice. It's like an edited footage. The Quetzalcoatl, probably the most of 2 are direct, you know, direct captured gameplay without an edit, which is why they don't reveal
another crowd pleaser, and this time it's coming from a reputable source. Let's get them into our park.
Yeah, like with the Mosa one,
into our park.
It doesn't look like there's anything there.
Let's get them into.
Oh my God! Go back further, please. YouTube video.
And this time, it's coming from a reputable source.
Okay, yeah, Mosasaur, I think there, and the one there, yeah, that's not edited footage. Okay, well, anyway, let's end this video here so I can try to splice these together and stop yelling and throwing a fit. Bye.